Hey everyone, I just wanted to do a quick intro that isn't the actual video we recorded because something happened yesterday that I don't think a lot of people were anticipating, and that was that West Ham beat Arsenal 2-1. And I think a lot of people were surprised. We probably won't do another video about it, but I thought I would just kind of mention it here before we actually start the video that we had already recorded. But yeah, they won 2-1. And, you know, a lot of people are saying, based on the standings that they're in right now in WSL, then this is kind of like a nail in the coffin for them to be able to win league, which at this point it does not look very probable that they will. So that's upsetting. Obviously, not to say that I was rooting against Arsenal, but now that, you know, Kristie's at West Ham and Katrina Gorry's over there and it's an exciting thing, I like the idea of them winning and doing well, but it is heartbreaking for Arsenal. A lot of people are talking about kind of three things. One, the reffing situation, that missed handballs. There was one in particular. I see this funny comment, says that ball hit the hand of about 3 West Ham defenders and no call from the ref. So yeah, there was some reffing issues. Well, a lot of people are talking about Manuela not, you know, having an error in goal, kind of like not moving. She has this thing where she kind of freezes. And a lot of people are talking about Jonas, ineffective late subs that really, you know, a lot of people are saying Jonas. I think overall, I would say the fans would probably say that Jonas is a subpar coach overall, and they hate seeing Arsenal lose. So that was a big game that they did lose, and I mentioned it here. I don't think most people were anticipating that. Katrina Gorry for the second week in the row was the player of the match for West Ham, so that signing means a lot. Kristie did not play. They said she's still recovering from her injury, but I did read Sam Kerr was there. I don't know if I have a picture. If I have a picture, I'll put that in, but Sam Kerr was there. Obviously, a lot of her Australia teammates were involved in this match. Also, Kristie is there, so there's a lot of reasons for her to want to be there. But what does everyone think? I mean, we probably won't talk about it again, but when I missed the game, I didn't wake up to watch it, but when I woke up and I saw that West Ham had won, I was pretty shocked. You know, I think a lot of Arsenal fans are not happy, but a lot of people are saying, you know, this year's kind of, how do you even say it? It's kind of like everything's leading toward next year, I guess, at this point in a lot of ways, you know, finally getting Beth, Viv, and Leah back, and still some other pieces. But this year's kind of like a rebuilding year. But I don't know. What does everyone think? We're going to talk about the 2 other topics we talked in a second. But you can put comments down below about that match because it was pretty wild. But here's the beginning of the other video.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Today in the video we have the end of an era, but we also have the beginning of an era. Bittersweet.
That's a good way to put it. Bittersweet, because, and it's actually the beginning of the era in 2 different respects, because we have 2 different stories going on here about new eras about things. Because, whoa, these are 2 stories. Hey, they don't really have too much in common, but they kind of do.
Kind of major wild stuff here.
Yeah. 2 shocking things for different reasons. 2 shocking things. Timestamps down below, because we're going to start with one story, then we're going to go to another story. And 2 things that I think people were quite surprised about. And the first thing we're going to talk about is quite a surprise because, like Sara said, definitely an end to an era. And it caught a lot of people, I think, off guard. But it's pretty exciting, especially for us Americans as well, because we love seeing, new faces to the league and people who you wouldn't expect to come over either. You know what I mean? Sara's going to read a little bit from this article, and then we're going to talk about it because it's official. Jen Beattie has left. I mean, not only is she leaving Arsenal, she has already left. She has already landed in California, now been signed to Bay FC in the Bay Area. So we're going to read a little from this article, and then we're going to talk about it.
All right. A beautiful Arsenal career. Bay FC lands another mega signing as Jen Beattie leaves Gunners for NWSL expansion side ahead of inaugural season. Arsenal defender Jen Beattie has brought an 8-year association with the Gunners to an end by completing a move to the NWSL expansion side, Bay FC. Beattie's departure was confirmed by Arsenal on Friday as she became the latest addition to Bay FC's first ever roster, with the club to kick off its inaugural season in the United States top flight next month. The news comes just a day after the California-based side announced the arrival of Nigeria striker Nwsl following an incredibly prolific 5 years with Barcelona. Arsenal has always had a place in my heart since I was a young kid. It's just a pleasure to be part of such a special club, Beattie said. I love the club. I love the group of people that I work with. I've got proper friendships here. It's not just the players, it's the staff as well. It's really difficult to say I'm leaving. To the fans, I just have to say the amount of support I've had has genuinely been incredible. You guys are by far the best in the world. Thank you so much for the support over the years. Beattie's iconic status at Arsenal is not just because of the many trophies she won with the club over her two four-year spells. In 2020, the defender successfully overcame breast cancer and was presented with the BBC Sports Personality of the Year Helen Rollison Award the following year for outstanding achievement in the face of adversity. Jen Beattie has brought her second spell with Arsenal women to an end, having returned to the club in June 2019. The 32-year-old made 166 appearances and scored 33 goals for Arsenal. Beattie won 1 league title, 2 FA Cups, and 2 League Cups in her first spell at the club.
Yeah, I mean, she really is an Arsenal all-time fave, a legend. Spending 2 stints there. She returned in 2019 to Arsenal. So she has a lot of fans, so much history with that club. She bleeds red. As it said in the article, she overcame breast cancer. Being so young, I mean, everyone remembers the story, her being diagnosed with breast cancer. And I remember her teammates talking about it after. They couldn't even get through talking about it. It was so heartbreaking, emotional. Come back and been so successful after as well. And now going to NWSL, it's just very exciting that she's had such a fun, amazing career at Arsenal.
Yeah, totally legendary. And we're excited to have her over here.
Yeah. So we're going to get to that in a second. But they posted on Arsenal's Instagram. They said, "Goodbye, Jen."
Goodbye, my Jen.
And then they said, after 166 appearances, Jen Beattie is leaving the Arsenal. Thank you for everything at Jen Beattie, for your professionalism, for your commitment, for your 8 years of service. This is one of my favorite comments. It says, "No one speak to me. I'm not well."
That's funny.
Because people are shook and people are not, I don't want to say not happy. They are happy for Jen as a person, but they are sad. A lot of people are just very sad. I've seen so many TikToks about how sad people are, and like Jen was emotionally connected to, in a lot of ways. So sad, like sad but happy. And so many people in the comments are just like, "Best of luck. We'll miss you. Wait, so sad. All the luck, Jen Beattie. Thank you for everything. No, this can't be happening. Oh my gosh, this is so sad." And also, Jen Beattie is one of the Arsenal's most prolific TikTokers.
Yeah, she totally is.
She's all about the TikTok. She really has fun with it, because a lot of times, anytime you have a team of whether it's college, professional, whatever, there's always a few people on the team who are really into social media, really into TikToks, and the fans love it. We love it.
We can't get enough of it.
Yes. And Jen has been one of those players who are really into it, shows a lot of behind the scenes. And she recently just, her and Leah Williamson had a bit of a concert, and that was amazing.
Oh my gosh, that was wild. It's like, obviously Leah Williamson, she's like good at everything.
I know.
But I didn't expect that voice, like good voice.
First of all, Jen playing guitar is hella hard.
Both is very talented.
And then Leah Williamson, she plays piano now, but she was Kelly Clarkson's song. She was great.
I want to see them do Since You've Been Gone next.
Yeah. So we'll miss those kind of moments. Then, the question is, why did she leave? A lot of times, is there a reason why someone leaves if they get a good offer? Not necessarily, but hearing from Jen herself, because she actually has a podcast. 2 other people that she does it with Jen Beattie, Rachel Yankee, and Izzy Christensen. They have a podcast. I'm not sure how long the podcast has been on, but it's really popular. It's a great time they have. They actually had like an emergency podcast because they were talking about the farewell. And apparently Rachel, when they did this podcast, had no idea that Jen had left Arsenal. And so they broke it to Rachel. They said, yeah, Jen, at first they're like, "Wait, what's going on?" They go, "Are you retiring?" And then they go, "No." They go, "She is moving to the NWSL, going to Bay FC." It talked all about, why she left. Well, first of all, she had a statement on her Instagram, had a long letter. It talked about what it meant to leave the club, what the club meant to her. And But in the podcast, she talked about, getting the offer from BFC. She said, playing in America for a lot of people is always a goal. And I'm not just talking about playing in America. People in America, their goal is always to play overseas in Europe. So you always want to play on the opposite side of the world, wherever you're from. But she said, she did an interview a couple weeks ago saying, playing in America for a lot of people, if you're from Europe, is always a goal for a lot of them. So she goes, that was always exciting to hear from. Then she said, she got an offer. The first email, she said, came on January 9th of this year, and then she's already there right now. So it happened very fast. She said she didn't have an agent, or I forget what she called it, like a person to set up the deal. She had to get an agent. When they came to her with the offer, she just sounded really exciting. And she said, if Arsenal didn't offer her a contract over the summer for the next year, she probably would have retired at that point. Obviously, we'll never know if Arsenal was going to offer her a contract because she didn't get there. But she just said there's just so much excitement over in the NWSL with these new expansion teams. And why not do something that I've always wanted to do? Because I have gotten this offer and it's major. See, so why not go for it?
Yeah, exactly. Joining an expansion team, like brand new team. Mm-hmm. It's all up from here. The way I look at it, expansion teams, there's not a lot of pressure because it's not like you're coming in and like the pressure is to, you have to win, or even if you have a great team, there is pressure to do well, but there's none of that pressure of like, okay, expansion teams always kind of like that because you're figuring out your bearings. But during this interview, she also talked about podcast co-host. She goes, well, where are you right now? She goes, I'm already in California. She goes, I'm literally sitting in Santa Barbara right now. They're training in Santa Barbara, then they're moving to San Jose after training. She goes, I hopped on a plane to LAX. Yes, Miami.
Yeah. I know. I set myself up for that one. Yeah. I hopped on a plane and then I went right to Santa Barbara to train. And she said, it's exciting. Being in California is exciting because when you're not from somewhere, it is very exciting to go to somewhere else. She already had some funny stories. She said two things I thought were hilarious. She said, so if everyone saw on the pictures of BFC, they had like the varsity jackets. That's kind of like their team, not merch because they said they weren't for sale, but that's like their team gear. And she goes, I put the varsity jacket on and I felt like I was in One Tree Hill.
Love it.
I know.
Iconic show.
That's Sarah's all-time favorite show.
Of course. BMP forever.
And so she said that. Then she said that they had a spin class, and that the instructor was a great introduction to California because the instructor, had a lot of positive affirmations like, you're brave, you're strong, you're beautiful, things like that. And you're supposed to say it to your partner next to you, the person you don't know, you're brave, you're strong, you're beautiful.
God, I feel like that's so California. Is that as a Californian?
I think it's very American, to be honest.
Yeah.
And Jen's like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. I'm here in California. They're already saying kind of wild things. And she's going to the BFC and it's exciting, I know I've said this before, but I grew up in the Bay Area. And it's funny because the NWSL, like we haven't talked much about BFC and even the other expansion team, which is the Utah Royals, but it's exciting to have professional women's soccer back in the Bay Area, and she's excited. She was talking about wanting to go to Yosemite and she wanted to go to the beach. And it's so funny. I think it's funny though, people who aren't from California, Northern and Southern California, although they're very alike, they're really different. I'm excited for her. She seemed to be very excited on the interview. I wonder if she's going to have a Super Bowl party because the Super Bowl is...
I bet the club's going to have a Super Bowl party.
They should, because San Francisco 49ers are in the Super Bowl, and we'll see if they win. I'm torn. That's my team, but I love Taylor Swift.
The NFL is scripted, though, so they already knew they were going to be in there.
Apparently. So we'll see if she has a party, but it's always fun. I'm super excited for her. So we will see. But yeah, so people are so sad, but people are excited. And some of her exciting moments when she scored. Everyone talks about that score at the Emirates when she scored goal that was the game tying goal, and then she ran into Poppi, and then Poppi flopped on the ground. I mean, that was a classic Jen Beattie moment. I love that.
Yeah, love it.
And then also, I'll say this, we're going to move to the next. She said the thing where during her and Leah Williamson doing the duet, she said that Leah Williamson had been asking her for a while to do a duet. Like she said for a whole year, Leah had been like, hey, you want to bring out your guitar? We could do a song. And so we could have had a year of Leah singing but we only got one song.
Oh my gosh.
They could have had a whole album by now.
Exactly. They could have had an EP, LP.
Mm-hmm. So congratulations to Jen. Happy trails, but congratulations at the same time because people are sad. And but I'm excited for her, you know.
Can't wait to see her play and can't wait to see her slay.
I knew you were going to say that. You know, we really hadn't talked much about Jen Beattie other than when we talked about her and Amber Gill launching their relationship. At this point, that was about 7 months ago or so that we recorded that video. They had made a couple appearances, but they officially broke up, I believe, in December.
Sad because it's one of the hottest couples ever.
It really was. So they broke up because I was thinking, you know, does this mean that Jen can go find an American love, like American girlfriend?
Yes. California girls, you know.
Apparently, Amber and Jen left on good terms. They said they had conflicting schedules and no bad blood, just they grew apart, you know. So
I think Jen should find maybe a YouTuber girlfriend.
Okay.
Segue.
So, speaking of girlfriends, speaking of finding an American girlfriend or an influencer girlfriend, yes, because that's going to lead us to our next story, that there is a new couple alert that I think shook and shocked a lot of people.
I'm shook. I can't recover from this. Did not see this coming, but it also makes so much sense.
It does. A couple just launched a couple days ago, and when I saw, with Sarah, first of all, you saw it first. You told me about it.
I saw the pictures, and oh yeah.
So we'll start with the NWSL. We'll start with the soccer connection first, because Meghan Klingenberg, who we all know, famous. She is World Cup winning, Re-Ink, one of the founders of Re-Ink. I mean, Portland Thorns superstar Meghan Klingenberg, everyone knows her. She has found herself, she has coupled up with a very legendary YouTuber.
Yes, an OG YouTuber, if you will.
Yes, and if anyone has followed YouTube for a very long time.
So she is dating Ingrid Nilsen, Miss Glamorazzi. Yeah. I don't know if she's still known as that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But that's how we know her.
So if you've been on YouTube for ever, everybody remembers her iconic coming out. I don't know what year it was, 2015. Her video called "I'm Gay," and she's gay. Yeah. So here we go.
Yeah. And I mean, if anyone follows YouTube, especially back then, I mean, she was one of the most famous, most successful, most everything when he talks about beauty gurus and that beauty era that everyone still talks about. Everyone knew her. I mean, everyone still does know her, but what she did is she kind of quit YouTube, kind of moved on to something else, but she is one of the most famous OG beauty influencers that started the trend. Like Sara said, that video called "I'm Gay," I think that's what the title was. She was publicly in a relationship with another YouTuber. And she came out with this video, in 2015 called "I'm Gay." And that was really before. And actually, it was funny. Sara and I were sitting at our kitchen table when we saw another YouTuber goes, "Yeah, I'm really proud of Ingrid," blah, blah. We go, "What?"
Yeah, I remember that.
And we were stunned because that was a time where that was a new thing to do. Just 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years later, the landscape has completely changed for LGBT people having different identifications. So many things are, it's a lot safer to just be who you are in 2023. But in 2015, that was not common. Not a lot of people did that, especially for someone who...
Especially like a beauty guru, like who would have thought, know? Iconic. And one of the main reasons I came out to my mom was because I was watching coming out videos on YouTube. It wasn't hers. I think it was before that, probably.
It was before that.
But, very inspirational.
Yeah. So she means a lot. Oh.
Then my mom disowned me. No, I'm just kidding. That was my dad.
So she meant a lot to a lot of people. I think that video has like 15 million views or something kind of wild like that. Because she meant a lot to a lot of people, and it was very impactful for YouTube, for the internet, for LGBT. So she's very known. Then she famously, her and Hannah Hart were dating for, I forget, maybe like a year or so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then she had another partner. She quit YouTube and she had another partner, and she moved to New York City because she was famously a California girl, and she moved to New York and actually started a company with her partner. At some point they did break up, but kind of bring that up because they're still business partners and friends. So that's so lesbian of them to be, business now, really good friends and business partners still.
Yeah, that's the gayest thing you could actually do.
Yes. But on Ingrid's Instagram, she posted this at this point 2 days ago, and it says Ingrid turned 35, and there's actually pictures of her business partner, which is her ex-partner, and then a lot of pictures, and then there is a picture of these two shadows, and they're holding hands. And then you click on it, and there's a tag by a very familiar face to soccer fans. Very familiar. Meghan Klingenberg. Then, this is the launch right here. Yeah. Cute peck on the cheek.
That's a couple if I've ever seen one.
They got the flannel and the beanie and everything.
I was gonna say I love Kling's outfit.
Yeah, her outfit looks great. But I guess that is the launch, and it is official. And then Kling on her Instagram posted the same pictures and said happy 35. She said happy birthday at Ingrid Nilsen. Have a Friday to all. because they were holding fries. But that's a launch. That's the launch. I'm shook. It's a couple I would have never thought. Because they're on separate coasts. Meghan is playing with the Thorns famously, and then Ingrid is in New York. Just geographically, it's kind of surprising.
When I first heard about this couple, I was shook, obviously. But for some reason, this couple makes so much sense to me. Like, so much sense. Like, I don't know. They just look perfect together. Yeah. Something that fits. I don't know. And
they have the same energy. And I'm always wondering, like, how did this work? Did Ingrid get into her DMs? Did the other get in the other DMs? Because I remember Ingrid had a Q&A with her ex-partner who is still her business partner. And they said, how did that get together? And then Ingrid told the story. Like, she goes, I pursued her. Very exciting for them. And they know, Ingrid's a lesbian OG, a lesbian YouTube OG. But I do think her video, I think it's called I'm Gay. I think it helped so many people. And just think of the landscape 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. It was completely different than it is now.
Yeah, I remember when I was in college, I saw this like super extremely feminine, like beautiful woman, this girl who attended campus, and she was with her girlfriend, and like such a stud, like, and I was just like shook, and they were like PDAing it up, and I'm like, this is iconic.
You loved it.
I loved it so much. I was like, wow.
And that was 10, 11 years ago, so it's just like how things have changed and how Ingrid was part of that. So very cool. And that kind of leads me to, is Jen Beattie gonna find her influencer in California, her actress? And she already had an English actress, so an American. Is she gonna find her American love?
Yes, of course. There's actors on every street, on every street there.
Because Sara and I do this game. I'm sure a lot of people out there do this game. We ship people that were like, I could see her with her. I could see her with her. People that have nothing to do with each other. We're just like, they would make the best couple, like, but it's real. Like, in our heads, it's real.
Oh, yeah, of course. We ship everybody under the sun.
So it will be exciting to see if Jen finds herself a love, in an American love.
Let's see if she finds a California Bay in the Bay Area on Bay FC.
Yes.
See what I did there? Triple Bay.
But what does everyone think? Did everyone hear about Ingrid and Kling? Because we are living for it. It just makes so much sense. It's a hot couple. They are styling. We love them. California love, New York love, London love. We just love it.
We love love.
What does everyone think? Questions, comments down below. Are you an Arsenal fan who has got it about Jen Beattie? Emotion. A lot of people are I saw so many TikToks about, goodbye videos. Sad, but I'm excited for her at the same time. She's incredible. What she's really been through and publicly, that's hard. And she tackled everything and was so brave, and really so happy for her. I'm excited to see what she does in the NWSL. And then also Meghan and Ingrid. What does everyone think? It works. I bet Kling had like a crush on Ingrid when she had the I'm Gay video.
Probs.
She's just, Ingrid will go down in the history of YouTube as being one of the first big female YouTubers of all time. And I think that's very cool.
Yeah. We love trailblazers.
Yeah, exactly. Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone. So you have a great night. Bye.
Bye.